What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. My next topic, I wanted to get into this Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, talking about how the rapper Rick Ross reached out to him when he was in jail. If you've seen a recent video that's going around, Rick Ross, the real one, was at the Tank Davis fight. He met another fighter backstage, and the rapper Rick Ross responded on the post saying that this guy's a snitch, he's fake, calling Rick Ross all type of names, the real Rick Ross. How can you look another man in the face, steal his name, steal his story, steal his entire legacy, and then continue to disrespect him the way the rapper Rick Ross does, and never once pay him no respect? He got his whole identity from Freeway Rick Ross, one of the biggest dealers back in the 80s.
His name rings bells.
This ain't just some random name he picked out of nowhere, like the guy never did nothing. This name rung bells back in the 90s because of what Freeway Rick Ross did in California. He took another man's life story and built a whole brand off of it. And what makes it worse,
he never even paid the man any respect.
And Freeway Ricky wasn't asking for much. He wanted some acknowledgement, and of course, a little bread would have helped out. But nah, Rick Ross ain't want to do none of that. He said he spoke to Ross once when he was in jail. Let's check out what the real Rick Ross had to say about the situation.
He talked like I respect you, and
oh my goodness, that first day it was like, like I was his pimp or something.
Yeah, this is why I did this.
But exactly.
This is really why I did this.
Man, I played a record and I mentioned your name on it to some dudes in the car, and everybody's ears perked up. I couldn't make that shit up. I don't know nobody ears perked up. What that mean? You know what I'm saying?
God, dog. And then all of a sudden, the second time you called.
Well, see, now I was telling him that I wanted him to come and see me because I had some ideas for us to do some business.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And I was telling him, like, look, you ain't got to tell them you me. If you just be my friend, they gonna like you.
They gonna like you regardless.
They gonna like you because you my friend, because you support me. Like I told him, I said, man, what we do is one day you doing your show, we call, and this is before most people had never heard that this is a call from a federal prison.
Exactly.
So I'm telling him, okay, while in the middle of your show, I call, and they play it over the old intercom. And when they hear that, man, and then you had like a quick conversation right in front of the whole audience, they're going to go crazy.
They're going to go crazy for you.
And, I guess his handler was like, oh, no, man, if they find out that you ain't the real Rick Ross and that there's a real Rick Ross.
And at that time, he didn't know if he was getting out.
No, he knew I was getting out.
He knew?
I had a date. Yeah, I had a date then. I had like 3 years left. And, I was getting letters from the little girl, Esther Piles.
Okay.
And I called her one day and she was like, I'm going to do your boy video and blah, blah, blah. And she said he dropped so much salt on me. Oh, you messing with that dude. You call that dude in jail. You can have anybody you want. Just some haterism.
But Freeway, was it a plus or a takeaway with you maneuvering the business and doing all the stuff you doing, him using your name? Is it a plus in that? Is there a good thing? Anything?
Oh, he definitely kept the name alive and made the name more notable. You figure what they probably spend. What, $10-20 million marketing,
yeah.
So all that help with the name, Rick Ross, so people recognize the name, because when they hear Rick Ross, most people first thing they think is him.
Yeah.
So you heard what Freeway Ricky had to say, but it gets crazy when you get into the fact that the rapper Rick Ross is trying to call him a snitch, and he worked with the FBI, and the whole time Rick Ross, everybody knows that you were a corrections officer. You are in no position to call out anybody's credibility whatsoever. And like I said,
the least you could do
is pay respect to the man. I think this shows Rick Ross has no integrity whatsoever. You can look another man in the face, steal his whole name and identity, and walk around like don't nobody notice it.
That's just crazy.
I guess we all ignore it because,
oh, Rick Ross got money, man. He's rich. He got wings.
That doesn't matter to me. The whole fact that somebody took your name and was walking around living off your life story and not once ever paid you any respect, that's crazy to me. You can take another man's whole identity and run around and act like you him. Like, this whole shit is just, the whole thing is just like crazy, but that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, Establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.